You know, actually, Dunston has touched exactly when it came to terrorists. Will, you know, just a minute. You know, what Kinoti is actually alleging is using unorthodox means to develop interagency what? Terrorism guidelines. Then you see number 3, he's saying hiring faceless professional in a consultant during the drafting and formulation of the guidelines. We're professionals here. I mean, we can be hired to really be engaged in this kind of, but there's a, this is an allegation, yes, I agree, but it's what the investigator, top investigator, is saying against Nuruddin Haji. That itself should be chaotic. I don't think anybody in State House should take us to actually look at these issues as a public. We are talking about terrorism. That is not an issue only in East Africa, but in the heart of US, in Europe, in all over the world. And I think if we go this way, it is honestly the starting point of failures that will be imminent in the Ruto administration. And we don't say this in bad faith. We say this for those who want to listen. Leave security issues alone, deal with them in the boardroom, and get a final solution.
Right. Prof. And I mean also, Prof, when you come into this, the issue of accountability, these two gentlemen are inseparable when it comes to the issues of accountability and anything that might be found cropping up on the criminal, you know, prosecutions that have been already there conducted and is concerned.
You see, Zainab, Kenyans are watching these people. Kenyans are watching these people, and they've been watching them from elections till now. And Kenyans are seeing a pattern of action. Kenyans can read and make conclusions. Where was DPP making some of these statements? I mean, when Kenyans see DPP in State House, when DPP comes and makes accusation about the DCI, who had been accused actually by this regime of you know, witch hunting them, that led to his own resignation. Kenyans are seeing a pattern. Kenyans are seeing the cases that have been dropped, and a lot of those cases are for people in this regime. They are for people who have actually been elected in this regime. So when Kenyans get this sort of information outside there, what would be the logical conclusions of Kenyans? They would. The logical conclusion is that the investigative arm of the criminal justice system and the prosecution arm of the criminal justice system is politicized beyond repair. In fact, DPP should save Kenyans a lot of flack and resign. What has been accused of here, really, as far as I'm concerned, makes public confidence in his office, you know, to be questionable. Really, if he was a man of integrity, he should go away with Kinoti, as it were, rather than spending a lot of time, you know, prosecuting the differences, you know, in the public domain, and clearly actually trying to appease the president, and this may even be an overreach. And then on the other hand, of course, I mean, castigating the DCI. You know, around issues that should have raised earlier. That criminal justice system was there. If you had issues with Kinoti, weren't there mechanisms of actually dealing with those through the system that you actually have in place? And secondly, by generating these allegations in public, like any other politician, what is he intending to achieve? If indeed the DCI committed all these crimes, there is, like we're saying here, there are mechanisms of investigating him, there are mechanisms of taking him to court so that he's answerable. He's not, the DCI, and he's resigned, in fact, is a normal mwananchi. The DCI is not above the law. And Kinoti should, I mean, Haji should use his good office, not for politics, but if he's keen on helping Kenyans, and if it's indeed true that the allegations he's making is actually correct, then in fact, he should actually use that same criminal justice system to ensure that this is corrected, rather than you know, bringing us to the theater of the absurd in the public domain. You know, so what does he expect Kenyans to do about it?